The A220 is marketed as Airbus's latest fuel-efficient jet, but Airbus didn't design it at all. In fact, it was created by a completely different company, Bombardier. So how did Airbus end up with full control over this next-generation aircraft after paying Bombardier to walk away? This is the story of how Airbus stole the A220. In the early 2000s, airlines were in search of a new type of aircraft. A noticeable gap existed between small regional jets and larger narrow-body jets, such as the Boeing 737 and A320. The industry needed a modern, fuel-efficient aircraft designed for short to medium-haul routes, ideally accommodating around 100 to 150 passengers. Recognizing this opportunity, Bombardier made a bold decision to create an entirely new jet rather than a derivative model. The outcome was the CSeries program, launched in 2008. It featured two variants, now known as the CS100 and CS300. This was not a minor upgrade. Bombardier engineered a completely new jet from scratch, incorporating carbon composite wings, an aluminum lithium fuselage, advanced fly-by-wire systems, and new Pratt and Whitney geared turbofan engines. The cabin was wider, the windows larger, and fuel consumption was approximately 20% lower compared to older jets. Technically, it was a masterpiece. However, the program faced significant challenges. There were delays in development, cost overruns, and very few initial buyers. Bombardier's brand recognition was not strong enough to convince major airlines to take the risk. To complicate matters, Boeing filed a trade complaint in the US, accusing Bombardier of selling the CSeries at artificially low prices, which led to tariffs that threatened the entire program. Although these tariffs of nearly 300% were later overturned by the U.S. International Trade Commission in early 2018, the uncertainty nearly destroyed the aircraft's prospects. Adding to the difficulties, the new Pratt and Whitney geared turbofan engines also suffered teething issues, including a highly publicized uncontained engine failure during testing in 2014, which shook customer confidence. By 2017, Bombardier was in a desperate situation. That's when Airbus intervened. Without any cash exchanged, Airbus agreed to take a 50.01% controlling stake in the CSeries program. In return, Airbus promised to leverage its global network, reputation, and supply chain to help market the jet. This strategic move significantly boosted confidence in the aircraft almost overnight. In 2018, the CSeries was rebranded as the Airbus A220. This single change transformed the program's prospects. Orders from major airlines like Delta, JetBlue, Air France, and Air Canada began to pour in. Production ramped up in both Canada and the US. By 2020, Airbus had fully taken over the program, acquiring Bombardier's remaining shares for $591 million and leaving Bombardier completely out of the commercial aviation market. Today, the A220 is one of the most successful aircraft in its class. With a range of over 3,600 nautical miles, low noise levels, and high fuel efficiency, it is ideal for thinner long-haul routes in a post-pandemic world. Airbus is even preparing to introduce a stretched version, the A220-500, which could compete with the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and Airbus's own A320neo. At its core, the A220 remains a Canadian creation. It was Bombardier that envisioned, engineered, and brought it to life through years of innovation and financial risk. Airbus, arriving at a critical moment, utilized its global strength to elevate the jet to commercial success. Whether viewed as smart business or perfect timing, behind the Airbus logo lies the legacy of a company that risked everything to create something revolutionary.